Hi, I'm Peter Mallouk, President of Creative Planning. Welcome to 1,000 Miles from Wall Street. I'm here with Candace Varner, Director of Tax Services, which basically means the head of our entire tax group, or like you like to be called, the boss, basically, when you walk the halls. What we're going to talk today about is when folks go from being an employee, a W-2 employee, to out on their own and running their own business, some considerations that they should look at.
Yeah, it's a really common scenario. They'll either make that switch, or a lot of times I'll see clients who, once they retire, decide they still want to do some consulting, and so they're going to start having some self-employed income. A few hiccups I have to go over with them. First being, sometimes they think everything I do now will be deductible. I can just write off everything, right? And it still needs to be business related. And what I talk to clients a lot about is what we're looking for is things that you're already spending money on that we can write off or deduct against your business income. I'm not interested in finding things that I'm going to tell you to go spend money on, because it's not going to be free. And a lot of times they think that. And so it's just kind of walking through, what are you already spending money on that we can show as business related, as opposed to having additional expenses. Some of the other things I'll go over with them are the different options for retirement plans. They have a lot of different plans that they can use now that they're self-employed. And then the other big one for us is estimated tax payments, especially if they've been a W-2 employee. They're used to having withholding all the time. Their taxes are being paid for them, more or less. But once you become a contractor, there's absolutely nothing being paid in for you. So we'll have to make estimates every quarter. They're in June, September, April, and January, sorry. And every quarter we'll have to see how much you've made, look at what the taxes are going to be on that, and actually physically write a check or pay online to the IRS, which feels really differently than having it withheld from your paycheck. And those checks are often larger than they anticipate, because they're going to include both the income tax piece and self-employment taxes. Self-employment taxes are the FICA and Medicare, half of which your employer used to pay for you, and now you're responsible for both halves. So it adds up pretty quickly. And if you're not paying attention during the year, the bill at the end can be
And that's like
rough.
over 15%, right?
Up to 15.3% up to the FICA limit every year, and then the Medicare piece is the 2.9% that's unlimited.
On everything. And the FICA limit's around where?
128,000.
Okay. So, I mean, people, that's a whopper, right, that I've noticed with my clients, is they pay all the income taxes, and then they've got this extra 15.3% they just don't have their brain around, because they've used a federal tax table, and they're not looking at that.
They're looking at the income tax rate only and thinking, oh, I pay 25% or 32%, and then when you tack on 15%, and we haven't even gotten to the state tax yet, it really adds up.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that they might be spending money on that they can repurpose into their business legitimately?
A lot of things that we're looking at are their cell phone costs, a home office, if they're using that working out of their home, vehicles that they're using for business mileage, or anything else at home that they really maybe would have done anyway, because they sort of kept a home office with supplies and their computer and all those things, and now that wouldn't have been deductible as an employee, but now it is related to your self-employment income.
That's great advice. Thanks for being with us, Candace.
This commentary is provided for general information purposes only and should not be construed as investment, tax, or legal advice. Past performance of any market results is no assurance of future performance. The information contained herein has been obtained from sources deemed to be reliable but is not guaranteed.